John Barnes says the Football Association need to stop hiding behind calling out other countries for racism and start sorting out the problem in their own game. England's 5-1 Euro 2020 qualifying win in Montenegro was marred by racist abuse being targeted at their Black Stars. John Barnes says England should forget attacking Montenegro for racism and deal with the problem at home first. The FA have led the calls for Uefa to come down hard on the East European nation, saying a small fine will do nothing to curb the issue. But England legend Barnes, 55, says it is time the game's governing body started really addressing the problem of racism that exists in this country. He told Sky Sports, "It does not feel any different to how it felt when Raheem Sterling was racially abused by Chelsea fans. Up and down the country every single week at football matches you have black football players being racially abused, so why is this any different? I think that it is quite hypocritical that we want to talk about Montenegro and say how terrible it is when we have not taken care of the problem here. We go to Montenegro once every 6 months, whereby every week we face it here in droves. So what is more serious? Going to Montenegro once a year or black people facing this every single day of their lives? Once we then look at Montenegro and these other Eastern European countries and say how terrible it is out there, it absolves us of responsibility for what's happening here at John Barnes, because it is high profile. We say, let's do something about it, but we are really not tackling the issue here. Barnes has been a vocal in the fight against discrimination in the UK in a year when racism has blighted the English game. Just this season a banana skin was thrown at Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang before Raheem Sterling was targeted in a game at Chelsea. Then footage emerged of Millwall fans singing a racist song during an FA Cup tie against Everton before a West Ham supporter was filmed shouting religious abuse at Mo Salah. Barnes added, overt racism probably has gone out of the game, but in the last 6 months you can see what's happening even here in this country. If you're talking about making teams play behind closed doors, you've got the high-profile situation of Raheem Sterling at Manchester City, but you go to the League One, League Two and non-league games and you'll hear racist abuse, as fans have said. Kick it out. But is there a drive to close all of those stadiums or get those teams banned? There is not. Once we then look at Montenegro and these other Eastern European countries and say how terrible it is out there, it absolves us of responsibility for what's happening here. Instead of passing laws, why don't we try and educate people why they feel the need to be racially abusing people, and then we can actually deconstruct the whole idea of why they feel that way rather than just banning and passing laws. So laws, yes, I understand the reason why people feel we have to do this, but how many years have we been doing this and nothing has changed? If it has not worked, let's try a different approach. The solution is to tackle it in society, and once we do that it will disappear from all walks of society, of which football is one. You can't say to a football fan, keep your mouth shut on a Saturday, but for the other 6 days of the week you can do whatever you want, and then say we are getting rid of racism. We have to decide whether we want to get rid of it, or if we don't want to hear it. All we are doing by passing laws is saying, you can be as racist as you want, but not in a football ground. If you look at the cause of discrimination, it is the same for homosexuals, women and black people. It is the perception of their worth morally, intellectually and socially. If that is the cause, then the solution is the same. It is not any different in football than it is in society.